Hello, welcome to the Do a Bit Dezo channel. Today we're going to be drawing Blair Witch from Soul Eater. In the comments below, tell me which character you'd like to see drawn next. Alright, let's get started. First, simply start with a circle. For those of you who are around the 8 to 12 range, if you're not starting out with a circle, you really should start now while you're young and you have all that free time. Now, this is what I call guidelines, or rose lines, like a compass rose. One going up and down, and then depending on where you put this one, where the second one will go. So I want her head to be kind of looking at us. No, she is a manga character. So her face is kind of pointed at the end, like a lot of manga characters are. So I'm going to flesh out the head, like so. And now the next thing I do is I'll draw an ear, depending if you see the ear or not, on both sides. Then the next thing I do is flesh out the top of the head a little bit more. You never necessarily don't have to do this. I find it more helpful figuring out where the head is. Now, since the reference material I am using, she wears a hat, I'm going to go ahead and draw the lines for her hat, since you're not really going to draw her hair. So for now, we're going to do this one line. Then what I like to do is the nose. Now, I'm going to use my own personal style. I really don't like how they draw the noses for the characters in Soul Eater. But I'm not saying the way I draw noses is better. It's just draw how you prefer. There's no one way how to draw character. So pretty much my noses are a weird, funky looking L shape, and then a little dot for the nostrils, and then a backwards C to end the nose. Now for this eye over here, I will provide a link for the reference material that I'm using for this video, so you have something to look at. I normally start with the top lid and then work my way down with the eye. Some people start with the entire circle. I will do that in a different video to show you there are different ways how to draw. Slowly come down. Very basic shapes. Sometimes you don't always have to connect it to the nose. Sometimes it looks better if you don't. Come over here. Really, if you're a beginner, you want to space your eyes a certain amount apart. This is just about the same distance as this eye. So I will try not to skip a step for these tutorial videos. I want her to look at me, so I'm going to make this eye pupil a lot wider. Now, since I got the eyes the way I like it, I'm going to darken the two lids. Now, if it doesn't come out the way you want to, like it just did for me, which it rarely does, erasing is fine. Draw another circle for the highlights. Now, what I've even noticed this in some professional works. Use these highlights as a resource for where your light is coming from. So my light's coming from up here. So if I have a shadow over here, it needs to be behind something else like hair or whatever. It shouldn't be all my shadows over here signaling that my light source is over here when it should be over here. A lot of people do make that mistake. So what I like to do is I'm drawing very lightly. You should always do this. The lines that I want to keep, I slowly darken up a little bit more. Now with her neck, so if you have to draw the lines to do this, go ahead. For the neck lines, the neck lines usually are even to the eye, but with my style, I don't do that. I always draw this neckline from the ear, then adjust this one. Now for her hair is actually very similar to her characters I drew a long time ago as a child. Notice how they're elongated triangles mostly. Go behind and draw the eyelids. Or you can draw them before, doesn't really matter. After you erase. Now, for the long hair, I'm not going to have it come out of her head. I'm going to have it start off up here. Now for her mouth. Mouths are very easy to do. Mine are usually two lines. This line right here signals the opening in the mouth, and this one here is usually the bottom lip. And I usually have it more curved right here to give it a more realistic feeling. Now for her weird part of her hair. Start off with two circles. Now connect the circles and darken. If you need to pause the video, go ahead at this step. So the second line is pretty much going to follow. Now with the first circle, continue the line on down like a spiral. Take your time with this part. See, even with this video, it isn't even coming out perfect. Not exactly the way I want, but this is a teaching video. Now, do the same with the next one. her little hair right here. Now to finish off her hat. And bring these up. Notice how if I were to draw lines right here, they're all squares. Now if you have to draw the squares, the rectangles, if you have to draw them like this, go ahead. Or just simply skip that step due to time. Now, using this guideline again, this is why I love the guidelines. Come up for her head. Two fat ovals for the two buttons on her hair. And you want to come up some more. Like this. Now, for the top part of her head, these are what you probably would say like rhombuses that make up her head. Normally, I would just draw it how I naturally would. I'm not trying to help all you guys out. Also, thank you for checking out my channel. Or this is different. I'm gonna do the rest a different way. It's like a lightning bolt. Come over. Now the end part is square-like, so you can simply draw a square and then just bring it down, and then you could go back and then fix it how it needs to be fixed. Now, I'm going to use my Staedtler eraser. I like these, even though they're more expensive than regular erasers. Just erase very lightly. Get rid of some of those guidelines so I can concentrate on the buttons. Come here. Give them a more 3D look. Now for her pupils last, I always do the details last. I used to try to rush and do the details right when I finished the part, and that would totally mess me up. And what I like to do, I like to give single strands of hair. I go back in and add little lines, hair, single pieces of hair that are stray, to give it a more realistic look to the image. Give it more life. Come up here. It's a little bit short, so I'll quickly extend it some. And there is Blair from Soul Eater.